Hey, fat fish heads. It's time for another edition of the hottest new podcast on all platforms, Fat Fish. Sit back and strap yourself in for the wildest ride on the open seas. Now, flap your fins for the fabulous Fat Fish brothers, Eric Fish Snyder and Brad Grunny Grunberg, a.k.a. Snacks.
That's it. That's the way to start a Monday. I love it.
Hey, fat fish heads. It's time for another edition of...
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
So what's going on, man? You have nothing to say? It's a brand new week. Monday. How was your weekend?
I have everything.
You what?
Good. How was yours? Very productive. How was yours?
I slept and ate. The usual. But it was fun. No, I had a good time. I was in the lift, met some nice people. Interesting thing. I had one lady. I pull into this like parking lot and there's big colonial house, right? I'm like, where is this? Way downtown, like near Felipe's, past that. And all of a sudden I see this sign. She gets in the car, county morgue, coroner's office. I don't want to go there again. And she got in my car, nicest woman. She told me stories about how she got the job. She was there she's been there 29 years. And I said, what was the craziest time? She goes, Michael Jackson. When they rolled his ass in there, she said fans were everywhere screaming. She couldn't even get to her office. But yeah, man, unbelievable. I saw the county morgue. I didn't go in, but I saw it from the outside. They said they know you down there. They said, oh, you know Fish? He's the greatest. He comes in all the time, just to look around. Just to look around. God bless you. But that was an interesting ride. Yeah.
Well, you never want to sleep with the fishes, so I don't want to be known down there.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad. The times are tough right now in the world, and we'll talk about that. But I want to start off with a video that just encompasses what everyone should be happy about. So we got a video. You got time for that?
I always have time for you.
It's a blast from the past. All your favorite arcade games like Asteroid, Centipede, Defender, and Galaga. So polish up your old moves. You'll need them to survive the arcade classics. Now available in 2-in-1 game packs for Game Boy and Super Game Boy, baby.
You find that? Oh boy, great commercial. I had so much fun doing that. Robert Clifton created it, directed it. So much fun man. It was great times. And one of those commercials I really wanted and I got. No one could think that this guy could slice it up on the dance floor. I auditioned. Then I had to go training for a week. And then I did the commercial, 2 days of dancing on that floor for Nintendo. Thanks for showing that, maybe. So tell me what
livens up
happened.
on Monday.
Tell me.
We have to liven up a Monday. We're very loose cannon-like on this podcast, and it's all light, and we talk about everything from jerking off to taking dumps. But the world today needs more Brad Grunbergs dancing like that with the fat hanging out of his pants. And see, I tell people don't call me. I saw 4 people don't call me, and my phone fucking rings in the background, which means that's my pet peeve. They don't listen. Okay, I'm doing a podcast, and okay, I won't call you, and they call. So that's my anger management. But the world needs a reset right now. We don't get into politics and religion here on Fat Fish, but I often, as a bartender, and I hear they'll ask me questions about what goes on in the world, and I hear the responses, and I get more angered. Do you hear what's going on? We know about Ukraine. We know about what's going on in Israel. Oh, it's brutal. Do you ever get people talk about it or ask you in your lift, like, do you see what's happening? They don't know what your religious background is. They don't know what you think.
Right.
But then they give you their own narrative, and you get more pissed off.
Well, it's really just a real sad time in the world. I mean, what's happening in Israel and Palestine, on both sides, innocent people, forget about the terrorists. They need to go, but innocent people on both sides are dying. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and this is going to go on for a while. I mean, it's, man, it breaks my heart, man. Just like when I, watch what's going on in Ukraine, I see people being, brought out of buildings. I'm like, this is crazy. We had ours, 9/11. Can there ever be peace in the Middle East? I mean, that's the thing. Ever? They say it's so deep rooted that there could never be peace. It's just so sad. So sad. Thousands of people injured, thousands dead.
It's the world.
Yeah. I mean, really, and it's over religion.
Does it aggravate
really.
you?
Right.
That's why I'm not religious. People get pissed off. I haven't stepped in I mean, listen, I'm going to a bar mitzvah, I'm going to a wedding. I mean, people get mad at me in my family, and they said, what? I said, because we're all in this together. And we haven't learned that throughout the history of time.
Yeah.
There's always been wars, and there's always been, skirmishes, and the Hatfield and McCoys, and I have a hard time processing it. What I have a bigger hard time with is a lot of Americans that I talk to, it's happening over there, doesn't affect us. It does affect us. Okay?
Yeah, it does.
Eventually it's going to affect us, because it takes one chemical, no Debbie Downers on this show, but it takes one chemical bomb or a nuclear bomb to go off, and that could set up a snowball effect.
Yep, that's true.
And that's what I worry about. I have a family. You have nephews. We want to live, but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. No, it's just, there's no easy fix. That's the thing. This is, been going on for decades, and the Palestinians and the Israelis live so close to each other, and I want to go to Israel. I've never been, and I don't know how this is going to end, but it's not pretty, man. It's just not pretty, and it's just heartbreaking. But yeah.
I have a solution.
Yes, sir.
Well, I do. My favorite movie, one of my favorite movies, I'm going to show you a clip from it. And here's a guy, rest in peace, one of my favorite actors, and it's a role that, and they're making, I'll give you a clue. They're making the remake with Jake Gyllenhaal playing this character. I like Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor, but no one is as cool as this guy.
Come on. If somebody gets in your face and calls you a cocksucker, I want you to be nice. Okay. Ask him to walk, but be nice. If he won't walk him, but be nice. If you can't walk him, one of the others will help you, and you'll both be nice. I want you to remember that it's a job. It's nothing personal.
Uh-huh. Being called a cocksucker isn't personal?
No. It's two nouns combined to elicit a prescribed response.
I wonder if somebody calls my mama a whore.
Is she? I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Well, how are we supposed to know when that is?
You won't. I'll let you know.
Wow. Roadhouse, baby. Patrick Swayze. I waited on him in the 20th Century Fox commissary.
That's the guy we need.
Nicest guys.
Yeah.
Really a nice guy.
That's the guy we need to police this world. That's the attitude we need to police this world right now. And
Or he needs to, you know who he needs to partner up with? You send Patrick Swayze in his character from Roadhouse, and you send in Billy Jack. John, right?
Oh!
Tom Laughlin. You send in Billy Jack. One tin soldier rides away. That's who you send in to clean everybody's clock, right? Great movie, Billy Jack.
Well,
and you know who was going to play Billy Jack was the deal fell through. Keanu Reeves was going to play Billy Jack in a remake. Oh, that would have been great. That would have been great. Maybe one day, you know. But yeah, man, we need something. We need something, you know. But now, segue. There's one thing I got to tell you. When we were talking about the subject of masturbation, I forgot to tell you a story. May I tell you this story? Yeah. No, this is a good one. This is a very funny one. So, you know, I take care of my mom and dad. Dad 91, mom 82. And the place we lived before the place we live now was like, it was a condo in Encino, and it was split. So a bed and a bedroom and a bathroom on this side, and a bedroom and a bathroom on this side, and in the middle, the living room, kitchen, all that stuff. Well, so I was on one side, and I had some privacy there. But there was one afternoon where I just said, I'm so tired. I don't want to get up and close the door. It's time for a little Pornhub. So of course I pull down my pants and I get busy, and I'm doing my thing, and oh my gosh, and I'm watching this thing on my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, baby, yeah, baby. I turn to my left and I see my dad watching me. And he says, having a good time? I go, I am. He walks off. I finish the job. And that's my story. So you lose your privacy. You lose stuff when you live with your parents. But my dad caught me jerking off. It's one Sunday afternoon. I'm very proud of it. Very proud of it. Look at your face. That's a true story, man. That's a true story. It's interesting. Your phone keeps ringing
right now. That people are calling me during my podcast is killing me.
Yeah.
No respect.
Yeah, why don't you shut your phone off? No.
You know what, Brad? It's life. Okay. You know, life is a weird thing. Yeah. I'm going to give you a story. You know, I worked at a famed place called Mom's Saloon. Remember that?
Of course.
And for 2 or 3 years, I rented a beach house in Malibu. I rented a beach house in Malibu. Okay. And my dad liked to come out on the weekends with my little brother at the time. I'm 23. My brother Bobby is 10 or 9. And we do surf fishing. I taught him how to fish. We went surfing. We just stayed in the waves. The house, the stairs went right down in the sand. Right. I'm dating this Russian model. Now I'm 5'9.5". She's like 6'2". Right. So we're on the beach. You know, my dad likes to drink Coors in a bottle. So he goes up and he kept saying, I'm going to go get a Coors. And I noticed that he's with my brother. We're in the water, and my brother goes, hey, E, where's Dad? So I don't know. 15 minutes. I said, all right, get out of the water. I make sure he gets out of the water so he's not in the water by himself. Make a long story short, I walk up the stairs, okay, and I don't hear anything. I go, Dad? I heard nothing. I walk past my roommate's room. She's not there, by the way. Door's closed. I walk to my room, and I see a sliver in the door, right? And I see my Russian girlfriend give my dad a hand job, right? And here's the expression on my dad's face.
Oh no!
and I take this in. And what do you do when you're 23 years old? Well, I lost Brad, so I took one for the team. What I did is I basically just walked down, hung out with my brother. My dad came down. I never let him know until he's on his deathbed that I caught him. He died. This is 2008, right? It's 2008 in November. And he's in the hospital, and he says, son, you got anything you want to say to me? And I said, yeah, Dad, I caught you with Nadia giving you a hand job back in 1983. And he goes, you son of a bitch. And he goes, you're the coolest cat on the planet. So,
That's,
we could talk about you, Dad. You got caught by your dad, and I caught my dad. So, hey, it goes back. Speaking of the
That's
80s,
great.
Brad, we lost you there for a bit. I don't know what's going on, but
Yes,
I had a huge crush on this. Huge crush on this woman. The band is called the Bangles. And I just love the hair. Everything about the 80s, and we educate our young, was the hair, the time, the no manscaping. Remember this one? Remember Susanna Hoffs?
Oh,
Did you see this?
great. Brad? She was the lead singer, right? For the Bengals, right?
Good. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
I want Walk Like an Egyptian. It was them and the Go-Go's at the same time.
Go-Go's.
Yeah. So, what was your favorite band? What was your favorite band in the 80s?
I mean, I love my favorite band, and I hope next year is going to be a great big birthday for me. My dream is to hire this band. I love Kool and the Gang. That's my favorite band of all time. I love Kool and the Gang. They're the best. I'm a 70s, early 80s guy. I love Casey and the Sunshine Band. I love Steve Miller Band. I love but Kool and the Gang is so cool that I'm going to have them at a very special birthday one of these days. How about you?
Celebration. The song Celebration is still written in 1979, still the #1 song played at bar mitzvahs, weddings, anniversaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times have you been to a bar mitzvah and the MC says, let's bring out Ishi Ishkovich, the boy, the great bar mitzvah boy, and they're playing Celebration. The family comes out, they can't dance. Same with weddings and anniversaries. So you're talking about a band that circumvents 50 years, and what's funny about them? They're from my wife's hometown, Youngstown, Ohio.
Are they? Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. What's your favorite band?
Well, I'm a crooner. So I've been a Sinatra guy and Tony Bennett for the last 50 years. But my favorite band, I like rock and roll. I saw this band in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. There's a band out of Canada named Rush. And I just love Rush.
Rush. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So, great band. Oh, man, they're great.
Yeah. But
do you go to concerts? Do you go to concerts or no?
I did. I haven't been to a lot. There hasn't been a lot since COVID, but I like to go to these things. Like there's a couple of casinos, the Cannery, Santa, local casinos that'll put together a Turtles, Herman's Hermits, and Paul Revere night and a Raiders night, bands from the 60s, and you'd be shocked. You just went to the South Point and saw Tony Orlando. There's a guy who rocked it back in the 60s and 70s, and I guarantee there was a good crowd, wasn't there?
Packed house. He was on point. It was great. I had the best seats in the house because I know Tony. I know his son, John. Great family. And Tony, he announced his retirement, and he gave one of the great lines of life. He said, my wife and I, Franny, we talked about it. And you know what? I can still hit the ball, but I just can't run the bases. So he's going to retire after 65 years in the business next year. I think it's going to be in Connecticut at the Mohican, one of the Indian casinos, and I asked him, I go, "Are you bringing Don?" He goes, "Oh yeah." So it's going to be one crazy party. But Tony, he was on Fat Fish. Did he tell stories? Was that fantastic?
Wow, he's fantastic. His whole thing with the military really touched me. That he's so big. He's the biggest thing since Bob Hope with the military, and that proves a lot about his character. Bradley, what was the best concert you've ever gone to?
So for my brother's birthday, he asked my parents, this was the best concert. We went to the Universal Amphitheater to see Steve Martin in concert, okay? Guess who opened for him? The Blues Brothers. It was epic. I mean, this is 1977, 78. I mean, Steve Martin he still is a huge star, but just the whole Steve Martin thing, with the banjo and the thing. Remember the arrow on the head, but when the Blues Brothers came out and they sang their songs, my goodness, you fall in love with the Blues Brothers. I mean, John Belushi, 33, we lost him. Gosh, man, could you imagine what he would have done in his life? Farley and John Candy and all these guys, man. The comedy, just these talented guys, drugs and alcohol, man. It's poison, buddy. But we had them for a very short time and they made their mark. But that was the greatest concert I've ever been to. That's what my brother wanted for his birthday, and he got it. We got great seats. And remember, the amphitheater was open. It was all open, Now it's all closed. Yeah. But a lot of fun. How about you as a kid?
I went to my first concert in 1975 or 6. I did the scene out of Almost Famous. My mother drove me and my friend Craig Persky up to the amphitheater to see the Electric Light Orchestra, and it was open air, and they had a big thing with like lasers coming in. It was phenomenal. My favorite concert. And if my old girlfriend Stacy Baum is watching this, we went down from Beverly. We went down to the Forum and saw Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they played for 3 hours. And I don't think no one sat in their seat. It was so electric, and the energy was so great. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. A lot of these bands, Kool and Gang, you're talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire. They still tour, not with the original members, but a lot of their sons do it, and it's very, very entertaining.
Yeah, I went to Earth, Wind, and Fire at the Greek with my friend Tony, and they just rocked it. We were up on our feet dancing the whole time. Oh, it was fantastic. And they tour all the time. Oh, Earth, Wind, and Fire is everywhere. Yeah. I love these. I mean, that's why I want to find Kool and the Gang, baby. Yeah. I want you there. Whatever party I throw, you better be there.
Oh, yeah. Your 60th is going to be a blowout. What's the worst concert you've ever been to? Come on.
I'm not a real. I mean, I've been at a few concerts, but recently I saw Tom Jones with my friend Mark Sanderson. Unbelievable. He has seen Tom Jones like 37 times, and I went to the YouTube Theater right next to SoFi. Wow, what a venue! No, in every seat's a good seat, and the sound and the monitors and oh my goodness. Tom Jones had just had hip surgery, so he had to sit down the whole time. For the price of admission, just listening to his stories about him hanging out with Elvis, him hanging out with this and that. Oh my goodness. In between songs, it was so much fun. Yeah. Like you said, the crooners, man, those guys, it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same, music, music is, an acquired taste of, all sorts of, I like rap too. Okay, remember the halftime show like 2 years ago at SoFi? Was that a great halftime show with all the rappers? Oh, that was incredible. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the halftime?
You know what I do at halftime?
What?
I don't. Nothing against the rappers, or if it's Alicia Keys or it's Beyonce, whoever, Justin Turner. I walk my dog. It's a 45-minute thing, so I'll walk my dog.
Oh.
So I don't want to walk her afterwards because people. If I have people here, I want to. You got me on a different tangent. What I can't stand Super Bowl parties because I'm a football aficionado. You always get the one idiot that's just doing. So what is it, Brad? They have to go 10 yards to make a first down, and they have to throw the ball, and it's like, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to watch the game. I hate that. I know you do too. No, I didn't watch the Super Bowl halftime because of any artist. I like to walk. If it's in my house and I have it. You got to go to a Super Bowl party at my house. There's so many spreads from different parts of the country. You won't even watch a game. You'll be eating so much. So, the worst concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tell me. No. I was just saying.
You want me to go? The worst concert I've ever been to.
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
Van Morrison.
Wow.
Van Morrison. I had a date Van Morrison in 1984 was playing at the Westwood Playhouse, and I had a date that I met a girl at Mom's Saloon, and she goes, "You're going to get lucky tonight if this guy's terrific." Well, great. Go to a concert. How's that going to be terrific? The jerk off walks on the stage and he's just messed up. You could tell he's been drunk or doing drugs. And he looks at the audience and goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry you paid all this money. I just can't go tonight. I'm too fucked up." All right. The chick gets mad at me, storms out. She goes to UCLA. So I met her in front of Westwood Playhouse. She storms out of the theater and she's mad at me because he's, so I lost a chance at a score because this guy was too drunk or whatever to do a show. I know.
Right.
I got my money back, but I never saw that girl again. She never came into Mom's Saloon again. We didn't have cell phones back then. She never answered the thing went to answer machine. Van Morrison couldn't do a show. Heresy.
Oh man. You could have gotten laid. You would have gotten something. So you went home alone with your tail between your legs, like usual. But hey, those stories happen, man. Those things happen, man. These rock stars, man, they love the drugs, they love to party, but you got to be professional. Come on, stay sober for a couple of hours, man. People come to see you. They take off work, they save their money to buy your tickets. Come on, man, you're better than that, Van. Did he ever walk into Mom's Saloon?
I did again. Since then, and he's fan. Scream. I didn't heckle him and go, "It cost you getting late because you couldn't in 1984." No, I didn't do that.
You didn't do that? No.
But no, I didn't do that. Let me tell you about you ever have you're a happy-go-lucky guy. You ever have a bad day? Saturday was such a bad day. Thank God work bailed me out. It was a great night, met new people. I'm a huge Texas football fan, college football. So not only do we lose to Oklahoma on the last play of the game, and with the biggest rivalry we have, I figured, I'm going to watch something that Brad and his dad are going to watch. Thanks, I'll turn the fucking Dodgers on. Tell our audience what a disaster that was in the first inning the other night against Arizona.
Crazy. I'll tell you, Clayton Kershaw in his whole career can't get out of the first inning. He always bombs, and then he'll pitch from 2 to 9 or 2 to 7 when they bring in the reliever, like a Hall of Famer. I just don't understand why he has such trouble in the first inning. But after the first inning, it was all over. It was done. Yeah. So hopefully tonight they'll rebound. But Arizona's on a heater, man. Arizona Diamondbacks are on a heater. They are playing very well. And life is all about momentum. So I hope the Dodgers can come back and win tonight. We'll see. Dodgers have a lot of internal problems.
Your Arizona Wildcats gave USC all.
Oh, I watched that. All my fraternity brothers were on a thread, text thread, and we were all talking to each other. We could not believe it. I mean, Arizona would score. USC would come back. Arizona would score. USC would come back. It was fantastic. What a great game. Even though we lost, I'm going to tell you something. I'm so happy. Arizona football has come so far from last season. I mean, now we're in every game. We might not win the game, but we're in every game, which is great. I like, I like Fish. There you go. Fish, the coach, and he's a member of the tribe too. But, when I watched the game, I know it was at the Coliseum, but I just think about those great games I saw at U of A, in Arizona Stadium. Wow. So much fun. So much fun. Because I don't know if you know this, but as you know, the Plaid brothers, I got my first part in Revenge of the Nerds as the Plaid brothers. Me and my fraternity brother, Taylor Samuels, was the only guy that had the guts to do what I wanted to do. We dressed up like all sorts of weird stuff. We'd sneak into McHale Center, like for basketball, as Hare Krishnas. We dressed up like Madonna. We did. And one great story is we used to go behind the basket. And then when the guy would shoot a free throw from the other team, we'd put up a poster of Heather Thomas, and he missed the free throw. Well, AC Green, when he played for Oregon State, he was at the free throw line. It was like seconds left in the game. We were there. We put up our poster. I think it was Heather Thomas or Farrah Fawcett. He misses the free throw. Brock Brunkhurst to Pete Williams, slam dunk. We win the game. After the game, we're walking around, and we were unofficial mascots, okay? AC Green walks up, very religious guy, goes, "Hey, man, that wasn't nice. That wasn't this. It's that. That's bullshit," or whatever he said. All of a sudden, Pete Williams walks in front of us and says, "You got a problem? You got a problem with these guys? Then you got a problem with me. Back off. Don't be a sore loser." He turned around and went back to his locker room. Is that pretty cool? Because of the Plaid brothers, we won that game. Man, I had so much fun in college. I'd like to go back. Would you like to go back to UT for like 6 months? Would you?
Oh, what I know now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think? Okay,
that's the old thing. Imagine.
Okay.
How about let's do a time machine segment.
Okay. I got a question for you, Vicky, your beautiful wife. I'm still trying to figure out how in the world she married you. She gives you a hall pass to go back to UT for 6 months, right? Do you think you still got game to pick up the ladies at the local bar? Honestly, you think you still got game? You look great for your age. You don't look your age. You're in the bar with those fakakta glasses you're wearing, Mr. Magoo, and then all of a sudden you're dishing on a couple of ladies. Do you still have the game? I know I do.
Next question.
Wait, what? You're not going to answer the question?
That's
answer
the best you could offer. I love this podcast. Just took me, Mr. Confident. I look at it this way. I would get a hall pass to do a hot tub time machine. I would love to go back to 79, 88 when I was there, and then we do what we did in the movie Peggy Sue Got Married. You and I find a guy and said, "Hey man, we need to invest in cell phones. Find, if the internet's going to blow up in 20. You find the guys that are tech guys, and you start investing in the stuff that are tech savvy. So by the time we're doing this, we're just hanging out at country clubs and looking at all the young girls that went to University of Texas back in the 80s, and their daughters. I mean, come on.
Were you in a fraternity at UT? Were you in a fraternity? Did you hear me? Were you in a fraternity at UT? No? I can't hear you. I was in ZBT, Zeta Beta Tau. Yeah, you were not in a fraternity, or you were?
No,
you were not in a fraternity.
I was a little bit. I was in Sigma Chi. I was in Sigma Chi, then I quit. I said, "Fuck this! These guys want me to do something." I said, what I did it just to go, and I met the girls that I wanted to meet, and I had enough, swag walking around campus, and they loved me. I was from LA. Some people never seen a person outside of Texas. They thought I was like an alien. So, I lived in an apartment complex. I lived in an apartment complex that had like maybe 500 units, and there was parties. Never had to go to campus. There was parties in the complex every weekend, and I'm not shy, And I bullshitted, and I told all the girls there that my family was, which is true, but I know a lot of actors and actresses, and I did this and did that. Went to the Playboy Mansion. This is before my Mom's Saloon days, and they bought it.
You went to the Playboy Mansion.
None of these people have ever been out of Texas that I knew. I never. That they got.
You still keep in touch with some of your old cronies from UT, all your friends, some of the ladies. Do you keep in touch with any of them? Yeah, really?
Yes, I found a few. Yeah, on Facebook. That's the greatest thing about Facebook, which we're on. Look on the bottom here. We're on Facebook, YouTube, DPTV, and all that stuff. The first thing you do on Facebook when it came out in 2008, you did the same thing. Was look for people that you. Oh my God, we went childhood, grade school, high school, college, girls from Mom's Saloon, friends from Mom's Saloon. Was great.
Right.
So
that's right.
That's the greatest thing. And then you find everybody. Then someone finds you, and you go. Yeah.
Some people don't want to be found. Some people don't want to be found. Did you go to all your high school reunions?
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's that?
Did you go to any of your high school reunions?
Yeah, I went to my 30th. I didn't.
Oh. Did you? You went to what school?
Where was? Oh, I know where I was on the. Grant, but I went to my 10th.
Grant.
My 10th, I was on my 10th reunion. When Kirk Gibson, I was there when Kirk Gibson hit the home run. That was my 10th reunion. How could you not go to the 10th reunion? Well, I was part of baseball history. I didn't give a shit about you people. I was 28. I was at Mom's Saloon, living my, the nightclub life. My 20th, Vicky and I were traveling somewhere. I was married, and I was traveling somewhere throughout Europe with Vicky. I went to my 30th, and it was great. A lot of people showed up. What about you?
I went to 10, 20, 30, 40. Now, 40 just happened last year, and I was lucky enough to plan the whole thing. And I was so happy because I got 123 people there. And, as the years go on, less and less people come to the reunions. So I got 120, and I got a couple of teachers, and I had a movie. I have to show you the movie. I went at my 20th, I went back to University High School as a student. And I took classes.
I saw it.
And I filmed the whole thing. You saw it. And it was so much fun. So I re-edited that because I added in memoriam. We have lost some of my classmates and teachers, so I wanted to honor them. And it was a really great movie they showed, 20-minute movie. And it was just so much fun. People were dancing. We had the great DJ, Alan Reno was there. One of the great DJs. He does all the bar mitzvahs, all the weddings, all the reunions. He's like a throwback 70s, 80s guy. And he plays great music. So he was our DJ. And it was just it was in Marina Del Rey at one of those hotels, I think the Hilton. And it was really fun. From soup to nuts, it was great. I love reunions, but not anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work finding people and then getting them there. But
I didn't go to my 40th. I don't know where I was.
Yeah. You got to tell, let me ask you this. I think you told the story, but I'd like to hear it again because it's unbelievable. The Mom's Saloon, when the Goombas came to the door, wanting to get in free because, there was a 250 person line down San Vicente. And the bouncer didn't even know who these guys were. Take it from there. That's one of the greatest stories ever. Can you tell it? I think you should. Or
yeah,
you want me to
tell it. I'm leaving now. I can't say if it was Carmine Abruzzo's son or John Gotti Jr. I can't say if those were those people, okay, or Paul Castellano's son. But one night in a distant land, far, far away, I'm working the upper bar and I'm part manager. This kid, Steve's an offensive lineman at UCLA. Big black kid, right? And here comes these four guys dressed like Don Johnson with the beautiful taupe shirt. Remember Don Johnson from Miami Vice? They were dressed
Willie wear. He wore Willie wear, yeah. Right. So they come walking up.
Slick back hair, gorgeous guy. Well, the line to get into Mom's Saloon was always 100 deep. So they got money. They got $100 bills, and they said to the guy, "We want to beat the line." No, man, you got to go in the back line with everybody else. Now, most of these bouncers would take the money and let him in. We didn't care. But I guess this guy had an attitude with the four guys, and the four guys had an attitude with him. So another bouncer comes up and gets me at the bar and goes, "Fish, we got a problem, man. Steve, these four guys, I think some are carrying, means they have guns, and Steve is just not letting them in." So I go out there, and I said, "Steve, just let me handle these guys." I take them to the sidewalk, and they said, they shake my hand, and they go, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm managing, and my family's got this business." And he says, "Hey, remember?" And they used a derogatory word for a black person. I'm not going to say it, but it's an Italian word. Should I say it?
No. If you want, but
I'm not going to say the Italian word for it.
Yeah,
I said, "Look, guys, I'll tell you what. I'm going to walk you up the street. I'm going to walk you up the street around the block and take you to the back door. Take them to the back door. They're having a great time. They're tipping like great, this and that. I can see. And I get behind the bar, and it might have been one of the guys. I don't know, but he comes up to me things, and he goes, "Hey man, I like the way you handled that." He goes, "You're a class act." He throws me a $100 bill. All right, I put it in the tip jar, and he says, "Do me a favor, keep the derogatory statement about the guy. Keep when you close, keep him back." And I knew right there they're gonna whack him. I knew it. So they're doing their shit. I go to the front door. I said, "Steve, get the fuck out of here. Go home." "No, come on, man. I need the money." "Go home. It ain't gonna end well for you. Okay? I ain't afraid of nobody. Go home." All right. And he went home, and then those guys hung out for the night, and I was just the anxiety of what's going to happen. They never said, "Where is he?" This and that. But I knew damn well that if this guy would have hung out when we closed, he'd be in the back of the car that they rented, and he's either dumped in the ocean or they take him out to the desert or whatever. And this guy's eating pizza next day and coming in. But gentlemen, very scary moment, but it's a moment out of a movie.
And the reason that they told him to keep him back is because Steve disrespected them in front of 100 people, right? Something like that, right? Because what kind of beef did they have with Steve? They got in the club, you got him in, you brought him in the back door, right? Man, that's scary stuff, buddy. That's scary.
Scary stuff. And they came back for years and stuff like that. Gentlemen, I got him in, and they treated everyone with great, and tipped them like great. But you know when someone's connected, and you just don't mess with them. I don't blame him. Steve was a good employee, and but it's funny because he left, and I never saw him again. He quit, and he played ball at UCLA, and he had he had an injury, and then hopefully his life was great. But sometimes you don't know how close you are in situations. But I just had and I'm 24, 25 at the time. I had enough street sense to know that this is gonna end bad. I don't know what was said between those four guys and him, but it was enough to piss them off, and he had no idea. He's just doing his job, whatever. But I have so many great stories about that place in the '80s. It's
it's funny.
I'm worried about nowadays.
Yeah, I want to tell our audience something. In development, Johnny Cocktails Entertainment, in association with Fish Productions, we might be telling a story about Mom's Saloon and the great Fish, the bartender. We brought back some people that Fish hadn't seen in a long time, some bartenders, security people, and we did a couple interviews. We have more to do, but man, you had a great time, buddy. I was watching your face the whole time, buddy. You were in hog heaven, man, to see these people and then seeing you, and telling some stories that needed to be told, So hopefully we'll finish that project, but that's a great thing. I worked at the Hollywood Tropicana, and I have so many great stories, of working with these girls and the customers and the management. And I could go on for days. That's the stories people really want to hear. They really do. What is it like to work at a strip club? What was it like to work at a mud wrestling establishment? So a lot of fun, buddy. We've been blessed, you and I. We've had a pretty good life, pretty good life. So,
great life. Great.
Yep.
Great. And my Mom's Saloon days, when you put that thing together and you read my thing, and I said, these are the people that I've met. These are the people, the actors and actresses. You can never replicate that anywhere. And just a shout out to our audience, anyone listening or viewing. If you have any footage of Mom's Saloon back in the day, it'd be a lot easier to do it now if this happened 10 years ago. But if you have any footage, and we have some movies that were shot there, get a hold of us at fishgrunny1@gmail.com. Any comments about our show, what our subject matter, fishgrunny1@gmail.com. Comes out every day, and I'll look at them, and if it's something pertinent, we'll bring it up. But the show is number 30.
Let me ask you, Fish, how do you see the Raiders playing tonight? You like them? Green Bay, what do you think? Raiders, Green Bay. I like the Raiders tonight. What do you think? I guess you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Now you're frozen. That was a great movie. Now you're really frozen. Yeah. Did you hear what I said? How do you like the Raiders tonight? What do you think? Let's talk Raider football. Okay. That internet, man. Unbelievable. Cox Cable.
Just get us out of here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Number
Cable,
30.
it's life. Life is a weird life, man. So
yeah, just tell our viewers about the Raiders tonight. You like them?
Like the Raiders tonight. I like the Raiders tonight. Let me see what's going on here. Hang on. Let me see if I got you still. Can you see this?
Yes. He's back.
Okay.
Yes,
you're in. Yes.
Yeah.
Love
All
to
right.
have you. Love to have you. Yeah, I like the Raiders tonight. I'm not going to the game. So
you're going to watch it on TV. Good. Good. A lot of fun. Raiders. That's a good time, right?
And also we'll shout out in this one real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wonderful kid. That wonderful kid.
I don't know what's going on. This weekend, Nick Pasquale. Yeah. Right. Nick Pasquale Foundation.com. The golf tournament's this weekend in San Clemente. Get on there because this family's doing so many for people with scholarships. On that note, Brad, let's get us out of here, baby.
You got it. We got number 30 in the books. I'm Brad Grunny Grunberg, a.k.a. Snacks. That is Eric Fish Snyder. Dave Linden, take us home. Get us out of here.
You've been listening to the Fat Fish Podcast, heard on all your favorite platforms. Until next time.